Now then, so far we've looked at several different examples of satisfying conditions and running code if that condition is satisfied. Now what if we want to satisfy a combination of different conditions all at once in one set of brackets? Because at the minute we're just looking at one condition, is the password length over X amount of characters. If we want to satisfy a combination of different conditions inside the same check, then we can use what's known as logical operators. And two of the main types are logical OR, which looks like two pipes, and logical AND, which looks like two ampersands. So let's think about this. Imagine we want only this to run if the password length is at least 12 characters, but also includes an @ symbol. So what we do is we place our logical AND, because we're checking two conditions. We want both of them to be true. We want the password length to be at least 12, and we also want it to include the @ symbol. So we're going to say AND, using logical AND, password dot includes. We've seen this method before. This is the way we can check if something includes a certain character, and we're looking for the @ symbol. So then, it's checking both of these conditions at the same time. If both of them are true, if it's at least 12 and includes this, then the whole thing will evaluate to true and this will fire. If one of them is not true, so say for example it is at least 12 but it doesn't include this, then the whole thing will fail. It will be false and it won't fire. They both need to be true for this to work, for this to be satisfied, this condition. Okay, so let me change this to something that's 12 characters long, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it includes this. In fact, we'll take that off for now and just do this. Save it, and we can see that password is long enough. So even though it's 12 characters, it doesn't include this. So this is not true, and it goes to the next else if. Well, the password is at least 8 characters, so it runs this. So then, if we now place in the @ sign, then it should pass this first check because now both are true. If we save it, and we can see that password is mighty strong. Okay, cool. So that's using the logical AND operator, which is double ampersand. That's how we check two different conditions. And you could add a third one if you wanted to, although that would get a bit messy. Now then, let's have a look at OR. So say for this second if check down here, we want to say, we'll fire this code block if the password length is at least 8, or, and it's double pipe, and the pipes are next to the space bar on most keyboards. You probably have to press Shift and that key. So we're saying if password length is at least 8 characters, or if the password dot includes the @ symbol, then we're going to fire this code block. So even if this is 4 characters long, so it's not at least 8, then because we've said OR, only one of these conditions has to be true, and because it includes the @ symbol over here, and this is true, then this is fired, okay? So if we save it and preview, we can see that password is long enough. Maybe this should be changed to strong enough, and this should be strong. Okay, so when we use the OR operator, only one of the conditions has to be true. So we could change this to be password, and it's 8 characters long, but it's not this. This is false, but this is true. This will still pass because we're using OR, and only one of them has to be true. And we can see that password is strong enough. Now, if we wanted to, we could get really ambitious and try something like this. We could chain on an AND over here and say password.length is over 5. Okay, so what we're doing here is this is one condition and this is one condition, because we've got an OR in between them, but this one condition over here is comprised of 2 different conditions, and both of those have to be true for this side of the OR to work or to pass, right? So if it includes an @ symbol and it's at least 5 characters in length, then this side will pass. So if we change this back to 4 and we put an @ symbol, and we need to change this right here to greater than or equal to, if we save that now, then it's not going to pass because it's not at least 5 characters long. It has the @ symbol, but this one doesn't pass. If we change it to 1, 2, for example, then save it, then it does pass, okay? So there we go. That is the logical OR, double pipe, and the logical AND, and we can add these into our if checks to check a combination of different conditions.